Look closely at the modern economy, and you'll realize it runs on rented land. A handful of technology giants have laid the digital concrete that every other business built on. Microsoft is one of the largest infrastructure providers on the planet. They are, effectively, the ultimate landlord for corporate computing and enterprise software, and CEO Satya Nadella is the architect selling you the lease. The standard pitch goes like this: pay your monthly subscription, plug into our massive ecosystem, and let us handle the heavy lifting of scaling your business. Renting your technological foundation is just how modern business is done, which makes what Nadella did next highly contradictory. But just recently, the CEO disrupted his own standard business model by issuing a highly unusual public warning. Posting on X, he wrote something that didn't sound like a cloud salesman at all. A frontier without an ecosystem is not stable. He argued that every organization has to unconditionally own the specific layers of their technology where learning actually happens. You can't rent them, you can't subscribe to them, you have to own them outright. It is a remarkable piece of advice coming from the person running the world's second-largest cloud platform, telling customers to build their own systems instead of buying his. In the AI era, the distinction between renting a tool and renting your company's future becomes the central strategic challenge. Think back to the transition to personal computers, the web, and mobile phones. Each of those technological waves made workers faster and more efficient, but the tools themselves were static. The actual expertise, the decision-making and cognition, lived exclusively inside the human's head. Artificial intelligence breaks that historical pattern completely. This diagram illustrates what happens now. It shows a continuous loop where human intelligence and machine intelligence are constantly trading information. As people use the system, the AI learns from their habits and proprietary decisions, compounding that knowledge over time. This continuous flow of data allows the software to function as a shared, evolving corporate mind. Right now, thousands of companies are trying to adopt AI by simply licensing external, general-purpose models by the seat. As this visualization shows, an organization feeds its private domain knowledge and internal workflows into an external model. Your unique institutional knowledge is absorbed and converted into a generalized dataset. The vendor then sells your hard-won expertise back to competitors for a standard fee. If your cognitive loop lives completely outside your walls, your competitive advantage is reduced to raw fuel for someone else's machine. To survive this commoditization, Nadella argues that modern organizations have to build two distinct types of capital simultaneously. The first is human capital. This is the ingenuity, the relationships, and the tacit judgment that lives inside your people and resists easy documentation. The second requirement is what he calls token capital. This represents the specific AI capabilities that an organization builds and owns outright. Token capital includes fine-tuned models trained exclusively on your private data, or internal AI agents that encode your organization's unique processes and workflows. When your human capital teaches your token capital entirely inside your own private architecture, they compound together. That specific chemical reaction is the only durable moat in an AI economy. Practically speaking, nobody owns everything. Every company lives inside a vast web of providers and dependencies. Renting your base infrastructure, using AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure to keep the lights on is perfectly fine. It is necessary. The imperative isn't to own the hardware. The imperative is to unconditionally own the specific cognitive layers where your unique decision logic is created and stored. Use the cloud for raw compute power, but keep your proprietary reasoning loops and fine-tuned models running on architecture that you control. Nadella's warning exists because your expertise will ultimately do one of two things. It will either build your own corporate memory, or it will be absorbed to feed a tech giant's flywheel. The future belongs exclusively to those who build their own ecosystems.